Hi, everyone. Welcome to VRAR Bytes podcast, our weekly show featuring the movers and shakers in Central Florida. Today, my guest is Sheena Fowler, who is the Vice President of Innovation at the Orlando Economic Partnership and Executive to the Orlando Tech Council, which are two really important functions in helping our technology ecosystem here in Central Florida. Over the past several years, Sheena's been working hard to elevate the profile of Orlando region as a tech hub and has led major initiatives, including the Rise of the Rest, the Florida Simulation Summit, and Synapse Orlando, just to name a couple. Sheena also serves as a board advisor to the VRAR Central Florida chapter and has been a major supporter of the VRA since the first time I remember being introduced to Sheena, I think by Carlos, right?
Yes.
And immediately Sheena's like, oh my gosh, this is a great idea, and has been one of our biggest supporters and advocates. So Sheena, welcome to the podcast. Can you briefly explain about what the OEP does and the Technology Council?
Yeah, absolutely. First, thanks for having me. Super excited that you started this series. We've got to better tell the stories of all of the incredible thought leaders that are in our region. And that's exactly a big part of what the Orlando Economic Partnership is here to do. We are really an organization that fuels the power of partnership to progress our ecosystem, right? So when we look at the opportunities of bringing together government, private industry, higher education, and just incredible thought leaders, that's what we do. We bring everybody together, we source these ideas, and we help move agendas forward. Something we brought together really early in 2020, a fabulous time to launch a new initiative, right? We launched the Orlando Tech Council. And so this was an opportunity to unite a lot of the different elements taking place across our tech ecosystem in a unified effort. Let's take a look at everything we have. How is everybody communicating? Are there shared resources that we could better partner on? And I know and I trust that when we partner together, our voices are even louder. And that's something that we feel very passionate about here at the partnership, is really making sure that the world sees Orlando region as a top leader in technology and an incredible place to live and start a business and grow your business. So that's really what we're looking forward to amplifying.
So when people hear Orlando Economic Partnership, is it similar to a Chamber of Commerce? Is it kind of related to that?
We are recently, in the last 3 years or so, we merged our economic development agency, our regional chamber of commerce, and our tech council into the one umbrella, including the foundation. So we also have the Foundation for Orlando's Future as part of this organization. So we are able to look at the economy holistically. And I think that's something that's very important. A lot of economic development agencies traditionally are only looking at recruiting in large, high wage, high value job companies. And that's what they're contracted to do. We're taking a different approach and looking at the entire economy and understanding how job creation is connected to our startup ecosystem, how transportation and housing is connected to our talent and tech ecosystem and our larger business community as a whole. And we know that when we're able, as you know, the Orlando region is still growing up. If
Yeah.
we can get a handle on some of these issues today, while we're still a teenager, then when we grow into ourselves and become the major metro that we're on trajectory to be, we'll have a much better handle on some of those issues that we've seen plague large, high growth cities in over history.
Right, right. So I know when we first met and we talked about XR technology and how it would change things, I think one of the things that you explained to me right away was we see this technology impacting all of our
Yeah.
major economic areas. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I think something that it's easy to get caught up in the incredible tourism industry that the Orlando region has. And COVID aside, this is an industry that isn't really going anywhere, right? We're evolving, we're continuing to innovate, but around the world, we're globally recognized for that one thing. But when you peek behind the curtain a little bit, there's a lot of technology that powers those experiences. And I think that's something that the world has yet to fully recognize and realize, that a lot of that work is being done right here in the Orlando region. That there are startups and large corporations that are creating the technologies, a lot to do with simulation and VR, AR, and XR to power these experiences. And when you look at it, it's the thing that really unites us between our extraordinary modeling, simulation, and training industry that I don't have to educate anyone that listens to this podcast on. It's extraordinary in the Orlando region. And also our themed entertainment. It's that uniting factor, right? That the talent that can come in and graduate from our extraordinary schools have that growth trajectory to be able to go through all of these different places using their skills to create experiences. And so I think that's something that the world has yet to fully realize, that the Orlando region creates the experiences that power the world.
Oh, I love that. Orlando region creates the experiences that power the world. Awesome. Okay, so now let's move on to our 5 and 5, which is 5 questions in 5 minutes. So number 1, what's the most interesting project that you've seen or worked on that uses XR technology?
I am really an extraordinary fan of the work being done over at UCF Restores, where we're leveraging VR technology to help those that are suffering from post-traumatic stress syndrome. It's amazing to see it work and to dive in and to understand that that's possible. I think it opens up an entire world of opportunity to the real seriousness of VR training.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. I think when people understand how that technology is being used to help people, this is not about training. This
It's
is
just the tip of the iceberg that's going to really change the world.
oh, absolutely. Number 2, what do you think the biggest challenges are facing the adoption of XR?
I think there's a lot of fear behind trying it. And I think the more that we can socialize the technology is fine, right? Like, we've got extraordinary innovators, incredible technicians that are continuing to advance it. But it really comes down to the everyday person understanding how they too can play with it and how it can improve their lives. And I think once we get more in civilization to understand it's not just a toy, right?
Yeah.
That it's an actual tool that can improve our lives, that's when we're going to see it really change things, because it's something now that can be a helpful tool instead of just something your grandkids play with.
No, and it's interesting because I saw something one of my friends posted that their son or daughter got an Oculus Quest for Christmas, and they started playing the games on it, but then they went into the other area where there's the educational application.
Yeah.
And he said he had that aha moment where okay, I get it now. But the price point of the Oculus Quest was in the area where it's not too expensive to invest in it for some entertainment. But like you said, but when you see the real potential, that's when everyone starts moving towards it, right?
I mean, it blows my mind the way that we look at it, and not everyone has adopted this yet, but the way that we're leveraging AR for safety protocols.
Yeah.
It's insane. I mean, I don't understand why we'd ever go back to something before where there was a manual. It really will save lives if we start to implement these tools correctly.
Oh, absolutely. Number 3, who in the VRAR community inspires you, or who do you follow to find out what's happening?
So I'm a big fan of the game space. I think that it really goes in line with one of my favorite things to talk about, which is creative collisions. I think that that's something that the Orlando region does best. I think that's what our special sauce is that people come here from all over the world and bring their experiences, bring their perspectives. And when we get them to collide together, they create new things, new ways of looking at things, new ways of solving problems, new companies. And I think when I look at the folks that are coming through the game space and everything that group has created, and the different groups from Indienomicon to all of the game jams that we've seen in all the different technology sectors, from healthcare, it's just really amazing to see. And so I'm always trying to look over there, and I'm ready for us to get back in person, because it's one of my favorite places to go and visit and talk to, because there's always something new.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Number 4, are you working on anything at the moment that would be interesting to our members?
Yeah, so I think something that you're going to start to hear a lot about soon is we're bringing back Synapse Orlando this fall. So October 15th, we're going to bring it back. It's going to we're really working on it to be at least in part in person and have some virtual elements. But this is an opportunity for us to really gather the community together. Let's showcase what we have to offer. And then we want to bring in media. We want to bring in some key investors that may not have been able to see our community yet and understand all the potential that is here. And let's bring in other thought leaders from across the state and around the country to make sure that they, in a single day, can get an extraordinary taste of who the Orlando region is in all of its technology prowess. And so I think it's going to be a great opportunity for us to show that. And we very purposely have pinned this event right next to the Creative City Project's Immerse. So you're going to be able to have the best in innovation and business and flow seamlessly into this extraordinary opportunity where you're seeing technology come to life in different creative expressions. And that's something, if there's any members out there that have a technology that is really expressive, that we could partner with a different art group in the region and really make it come to life, that's what we want to showcase at Synapse, because I think there's an important expression about the Orlando community that we have the technicality, but we're also incredibly creative in the way that we use it. And so let's create some new partnerships and some things to activate this technology and get people to see it and touch it and feel it.
Excellent. And the last question, number 5, what would you like to see from the VRAR Association?
You know, I'm so proud of this group, and watching it grow has been extraordinary. And I was able to go to the VRAR Global Summit in Vancouver, and I was really impressed when you see your own bubble, right? You live and play in your own bubble, but it's not until you get outside and you start to talk to others that you can fully recognize how much you have. And I was really pleased when I started talking to other chapters at how well we're doing. So I want to see us continue to do everything that we're doing. I want us to get back to in-person meetings. And then I really want to see some initiatives around women in XR. And I think that's an important initiative that I want to spend some time on. I know there's some incredible women in this community that represent us well. And I think we could carve out some opportunity to make sure that they can mentor the up and coming next generation.
Absolutely. That's a fantastic idea. Okay. Well, great. Well, Sheena, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. Really appreciate it.
John, thanks for doing this. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, can't wait till we can get back face to face. Our next chapter meeting is going to be April 21st. We're going to do it in VR again, and it's going to be the headset technology showcase. So we've got 6 or 7 of the headset vendors. They're going to be in the meeting showing the latest technologies, but more importantly, letting everybody collaborate and discuss and understand. So I'm really looking forward to that. And
it's going to be awesome.
Sometimes after that, we can get back face to face. Okay.
Love it.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Today, we've met with Sheena Fowler, the Vice President of Innovation at the Orlando Economic Partnership. And have a great day.